In this MaxTow Gauges installation video, we'll show you how to install a MaxTow Match diesel transmission temperature gauge into your 2010 to 2018 Ram 2500 and 3500 4th Gen Cummins. For the purpose of this installation, we will be using a 2017 Ram 2500 with a 6.7-liter Cummins engine to install our gauge. The gauge will be installed to a factory-fitted 4th Gen Cummins pillar pod. We will also use a transmission T-fitting adapter and expandable circuits for installation. All of these accessories can be found at MaxTow.com. For safety, disconnect the negative battery terminals before starting any work on the vehicle. Safely jack up the truck. Have a drain pan available for any fluid that leaks. Using a marker, mark the transmission hot side cooler line where the T-fitting will fit after it is installed. Using a 20mm and 24mm wrench, loosen the transmission hot side cooler line. Using a pick tool, remove the retaining clip holding the line into the transmission and then remove the trans-cooler line. Use the T-fitting to measure and mark the location in the line that needs to be removed. This portion should be 1 7/8 inches long. Using a pipe cutter, cut the line at the marks and deburr the cut ends. Insert the nut and cutting ring onto the line. Hold the body of the T-fitting with a wrench and hand tighten each compression nut. Apply Teflon tape to the threads of the temperature sensor and thread the sensor into the port on the T-fitting housing. Tighten it with a 14mm wrench. Reinstall the transmission cooler line into the transmission. Don't forget to reinstall the retaining clip to the side of the line that goes into the transmission. Hold the body of the T-fitting and tighten the nut 1/4 more turn with a 7/8 inch and 22 mm wrench to ensure proper sealing of the cutting rings. Plug the transmission temperature sensor harness into the temperature sensor. Route the transmission temperature sensor harness up to the firewall to the driver's side of the engine bay and use zip ties to secure the sensor wires. Ensure there is no contact with any direct heat source or moving parts. Run the sensor harness through the firewall using a grommet. Remove the side trim panel of the dash and move the weather strip out of the way. Route the power wire from the gauge pod down through the dash and through the grommet into the engine bay. Route the trans temp sensor harness through the dash and into the trans temperature gauge location on the gauge pod. Reinstall the weather stripping. Reinstall the side trim panel for the dash. Plug the power harness and the sensor harness into the back of the gauge and slide the gauge into the gauge pod. Reconnect the negative terminals of the two batteries and prepare power for the gauge. Pull the power harness through the firewall to the fuse box location under the hood. Locate fuse number F84 in the fuse panel for constant 12-volt power. Locate fuse number F93 in the fuse panel for ignition-only 12-volt power. Locate fuse number F79 in the fuse panel for headlight-only 12-volt power. Using an expandable circuit, crimp it to the yellow wire. Insert the fuse into the circuit and insert the circuit into the empty fuse number F84 slot. Using a second expandable circuit, crimp it to the red wire. Insert the fuse into the circuit and insert the circuit into the empty fuse number F93 slot. Using a third expandable circuit, crimp it to the orange wire. Insert the fuse into the circuit and insert the circuit into the empty fuse number F79 slot. Using an eyelet connector, secure the black wire from the gauge to the grounding bolt next to the fuse box using a 10 mm socket. You've now successfully installed your MaxTow Match transmission temperature gauge into your 2010 to 2018 Ram 4th Gen Cummins diesel truck. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please contact us at 1-877-7-MAX-TOW, and we'll see you on the road.